Dorinda?
Oh, Dorinda
Vicky.
scares me.
She scares me. I mean, Dorinda even said, you want to play mean? I'll play mean. She's like, at least I don't, date people that are like, faking cancer. And then she referred to Steve, guys that leave me for someone half their age and end up married. I mean, Dorinda clapped back in such a way. And then Vicki came out. And then Vicki spoke out again, like, I didn't mean to insult Dorinda. And Dorinda's like, I'm not even responding. You're so beneath me, basically. Right? Isn't that how it played out?
Yeah, basically. I mean, look, I like them both. I'm excited to see them on the, girls trip. But I mean, that's Dorinda's MO, right? You come for Dorinda, Dorinda hits back for sure. And Vicki, I mean, I do think Vicki can hold her own. She's a long time. I mean, she's an OG, she can hold her own for sure.
Really?
But, I mean, we've seen, look, I mean, Tamra came out this week and Tamra was saying basically, I mean, much, in a much better way, but essentially saying that Vicki has a new boyfriend. Tamra has not met him yet, but she really wants to, because Vicki's horrible at picking men. What I mean? That, they want to get Meghan King involved. So Meghan King can do a background check on this new guy. And, Tamra, of course, as her friend, is rooting that Vicki will find true love because Vicki really wants it. But Vicki is terrible at picking men. And
pickers off, as that
pickers off.
Patty Stanger says.
And Tamra said the moment she met Steve for the first time, she knew that they would never walk down the aisle together. And I don't think she elaborated as to what specifically it was about Steve, but Steve seemed like he was kind of an attention whore and has moved on. So
now we all know things get posted and they're not really true. There is a picture of Vicki and her new boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Well, they're saying it's him. And again, I haven't really like confirmed this is what I'm saying, but they say that this is Vicki's new boyfriend and they're saying he's like a geriatric combination between Don and Brooks. He's a more senior gentleman for sure. I mean, Vicki is, how old is Vicki? Like 60? I'm not saying that's old, but there is a picture. Did she post this? No, she didn't.
I want to see where this is.
There's a picture that is posted and they're saying it's Vicki's new boyfriend. And he is I think, is this him? Here
look it up. I'm looking at
it. He looks better in this picture that I'm looking at. There was a plane of them on, is this her boyfriend? Hold on. Yeah, you can actually see that. Okay. Everyone's going to see this if they go to YouTube. That doesn't look so bad if that's.
Oh, no, he's kind of cute. I mean, he looks like a little.
This is not the picture that there was a picture in the plane that he looks so old.
Oh, really?
There's nothing wrong with looking old, but look.
He doesn't look bad there. He looks a little dad bodish, but he doesn't look bad.
I hope it works out.
I mean, are you a team Vicki fan? Like, I do. I feel like Vicki does deserve
I like Vicki and I like Dorinda. I just think, I think Vicki opens her mouth and doesn't necessarily know what she says. And I like Vicki. I'm not sure that Vicki can handle herself against Dorinda. I mean, you think so? I don't think so. I think Dorinda could eat Vicki for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I thought her clapback was, it knocked Vicki down. And then Vicki got up and Dorinda knocked her so hard she rolled down the hill and just laid there in the middle of the street. I thought Dorinda's clapback was brilliant. I mean, as far as the clapback goes, and I just thought, you don't fuck with Dorinda. I'm not fucking with Dorinda. And I just think Vicki's in over her head on this one. I do. She's great. I love Vicki, but I think Dorinda will tear her to the carcass.
All right. Well, that will make for excellent drama. I mean,
it'll make for excellent
super
drama.
Curious for all that. That's really good drama. Okay.
Now we also, what else do we have going on? We have Speaking of the OC, I had lunch with Bronwyn, Miss Wyndham Burke.
Okay, tell me about that. And then we do have a response, from Tamara about Andy Cohen's comments. Andy allegedly saying that how could Tamara come back with the Two Peas in a Pod podcast? So, Tamara has responded to that this week, which I thought.
Well, tell us, and then I'll tell you about my lunch.
Well, I mean, she basically says that she thinks Andy's being fed a line of bullshit from Heather Dubrow. That she, she says, look, Teddy and I have this podcast, and we by no means are, we're not investigating people. We're not digging things up. We are just commenting on what is out there and our own experiences of being housewives. We're not trashing anybody. Basically what I said, when you and I were talking about it initially, I'm like, they're not breaking news. They're not saying anything salacious or slanderous about anybody. They're not. And Tamara says the same thing. And she basically, I don't think it has anything to do with Heather Dubrow, my own. And I have, this is just like a wild theory. I have nothing to base this on, but I just think it was a convenient excuse for Andy to say that they're not interested in bringing Tamara back right now, is to use that as an excuse. But like you and I talked about, if they need Tamara, they will bring Tamara back. So Tamara just feels like Heather Dubrow is in Andy's ear saying, you can't bring her back. Look at this podcast. This isn't a good look for you. It's not a good look for Bravo if you let her do this or she's doing this and then she comes back. So anyway, that's kind of where it's at, like this tit for tat. But
I agree with like all of that. I mean, I have to say, I like to just think like the producer and not into Tamara's not coming back. I'm sorry. It's not happening. It's not where the show is going. That's my opinion. And when it comes to this stuff, my opinions are usually right. Again, I suck at the world. So there's no ego. That's not going to fix this problem of the OC. I don't think that's where we're going. I just don't think that's where the show is going. I think if you brought back an OG Heather, who's, yes, not an OG and blah, 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 but if you brought back a big name from the past, which we did, and the ratings weren't good, I don't think doubling down is going to fix that.
Do we have any updates? I mean, the last time you and I've talked about this, RHOC, we don't believe is filming, right?
No, it's not filming. I personally, I would let Gina go. I mean, I've said this last year, but I'll say it again. I would let Gina go. I would let Emily go. I would let Noella go. I would let Dr. Jen go. I would keep Heather, and just by default, I would keep Shannon. And I would take Heather and Shannon and just somehow, I mean, the problem is when you mix in 30 somethings with 50 somethings, it doesn't work. It didn't work with Leah McSweeney. I mean, Ebony was younger. Now we have Crystal, who there's things with. It's just, I think it's really hard to take a show in, and this is why we have two Ronnies. I think it's really hard to mix in. I just think, like, I forgot all along that Kyle was 50 something and Crystal was 30 something until this, and now we're reminded. And same thing with Leah, and you're like, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying it's not